So the problem here, it's very hard to pull him down with both hands like this if he stiff arms here, and also pummeling underneath, he can drop this elbow low tight, and it can become very difficult to do both, right? So what I'm gonna focus on here is I'm gonna get a cross sleeve grip with my right hand. I just like to grab the cuff here, and then I just hold it like this with my thumb. Even if his elbow is really low, you can always sneak your finger in here underneath like this and then grab your own wrist, okay? So we're gonna talk about the details of actually breaking this grip because that's a major aspect of this, okay? So go ahead and let go real quick. So the main thing I wanna be doing to break this grip on my lapel, he's gonna be double gripping when he does it, is that I want to make kind of like a TP with my wrist here like this, right? So I want to be pressing up really strong with the wrist. You don't want to push with the lapel, right? If you need to get close to show this, you can, right? What I don't want to do when I do this is like press up with the material. I want to make like a kind of a wedge like this with my wrist here like this, right? And I get right into this like area under his wrist here, right there. And then I'm gonna press up and I lead with my left arm and my left wrist, and my right hand is kind of support, and it happens to be holding the sleeve, and I drive that up and that breaks. But you see this pressure or the wrist pressure here is what's breaking it. It's not pressing with the right arm. It's mostly the left arm and driving with this, okay? We're holding the sleeve so that once we break it, we have the grip, okay? Just make sure that you're not trying to break this by pressing with the material because you won't be able to, okay? Also, the way I'm pressing with the wrist is a little more like out to my left and up diagonally like this here, right? So see, I make that strong wedge and I press up and out to the side away from the way he's gripping because that's where his fingers are weak. It breaks out that way, right? So again, he's holding tight here. I break up and out. As soon as I break, one of the biggest mistakes people do with this is they immediately start trying to drag this across, and then he's gonna re-grip and you're gonna keep cycling like that, okay? What I wanna do is as soon as I break this, he's almost like a murder choke gonna try to come back and grab something. So I wanna grab the wrist like this, like you see in a movie where someone's trying to kill the person, right? He's trying to grab here, right? Except he's trying to grab my lapel, hopefully not my throat, right? So he's here like this trying to grab. I wanna deny that grip. Okay, as he tries to grab that, he has all this force, and now look, I'm gonna guide that across here, and you can do it both ways, but I prefer to have my wrist over top of his wrist, like this. See, so now I guide it across here. Once I've guided this across, now I'm gonna take my left hand and come behind his tricep here, okay? This is now making it hard for him to drag his arm back to make that grip. So you try to grab that, it's very difficult, okay? If I stay here though long, he will eventually keep dragging your arm back. It will become hard to hold this, okay? So this is not somewhere I'm gonna stay long. I'm gonna be here like this, and as he tries to pull the elbow back, I'm gonna tap the floor with my left foot, and I shrimp out really quick, like this, and now I'm gonna sit up and bring my chest behind his tricep. Once I get my chest behind his tricep, it's very easy for me to come over with my left arm and grab his armpit, okay? From here, this is a very, very good attack position. Realistically, a lot of times I'll immediately start attacking the back from here or whatever, but the main thing is, that's why I've separated this video, particularly on the details of getting here. That's where most people mess up in this attack series. They learn all these attacks, but they don't know how to actually force their way to this position, right? So again, we're here. Number one thing to understand, he gets one high, one low. This double lapel grip can be very frustrating. So we get the cross grip. If his wrist is really tight down or whatever, just move a little bit and you get one finger in and slowly you'll work your way under. You start to get your own wrist grip here. Once I get my own wrist grip, I make that strong wedge with my wrist. I start driving up and to the left like this. As soon as I break it, I want to catch his wrist so that when he tries to regrip my lapel, he can't. It's very, very difficult. I'm going to use his pressure to do that to guide this across. Once I get his arm across though, I'm gonna let go and grab this tricep. I'm immediately gonna do a crunch and sit up, and I'll unlock my legs. Look at what my legs are doing over here. I'm gonna unlock my legs and put my left foot on the floor so that I can sit up and scoot out to the side fast and bring my chest behind his tricep. Okay, I want the chest behind the tricep because if I'm here and I go like this, his elbow can now pull back and try to get back in the way a bit. I wanna keep my chest behind the tricep and lock in here. Now as he tries to pull his arm back, he can't, he's stuck. And then from here, we can start building to back attacks, pendulum sweeps, arm bars. There's all sorts of things we can do from here. It's a very, very aggressive attack system. Roger Gracie's used this like from white belt all the way up to world-class black belt tournaments. It's one of the most powerful attack series in jiu-jitsu. Okay, so I like to grab the armpit, get the material here. So now let's just talk about the basic back take from here. So when I go for the back, one of the biggest mistakes I think people make is they try to stay on the floor and like pull the guy into him, but he's gonna keep turning back into them. It's very hard to get to the back. So what I like to do here is once I'm out like this and I have my chest behind his tricep, It's based a bit off of what he's doing, but let's just say he's staying here. He's not turning into me too much. Okay, I can keep this sleeve if I can. Otherwise, you can put your hand on the floor, but if I can, I try to keep this sleeve. I'm gonna unlock my leg and put my left foot on the floor, okay? Now I'm gonna use my left foot and my right elbow, or even if I can post on the hand, I can come up, and I'm gonna pull this right leg all the way out, okay? Like I'm gonna come up to my knee and stand up. You see how I'm all the way out on my right knee here? This is gonna be the first hook. Once I get my leg all the way out, now it's very easy to come around and start throwing my hook in or chasing however I need to take the back. But what a lot of people do is they come here and they don't get too far out, and then they're trying to throw this left hook in, and they can never get that left hook in because the guy keeps chasing and you can't quite get it. So once I get here, I just want to focus on getting this right leg all the way out. So I put my left foot on the floor here, if you can see this. Left foot goes on the floor, and I just pop this right leg all the way out. See how far out I bring this? Right, this is way out. Now I have the mobility to come around and throw my hook in. If you wanted to, you could literally stand up behind him, and now you're in a turtle position, whatever you want. Of course, I'm gonna go for the back directly, but the main idea is that we're trying to pull that leg all the way out. If this leg gets stuck, it's very, very hard to continue with the attack series, right? So again, left foot on the floor, let's change angle. So again, I get the arm across, I come up here, left foot on the floor, pull this leg all the way out, and now I can throw the left leg over, come around, and we're starting to work to attack from the back. Close guard's often taught as like one of the most basic positions in jiu-jitsu. So this series is gonna be both focused on how to play the close guard in of itself, as well as how to set it up. I think often people think of it as like an old school thing, so it's kind of like not as effective anymore, but that's like completely not the case. It's one of the most powerful guards in jiu-jitsu. It just depends on context. One of the biggest strengths of close guard is that it has a lot of submissions and ways to win the match from bottom. So if I get to close guard on my opponent, he can't just fall to his guard to get back out of the position. He has to stay in the position. I can threaten collar chokes, I can threaten arm bars, I can threaten triangles. So for me, the close guard is a great tool to have in your arsenal. It's just about knowing when is the right time to do it.